All right, so we're going to dive into this thing, building a bulletproof realtor follow-up system. This is something I absolutely love because this is such a big area of improvement and something that people really, really want. So yeah, a couple quick things before we dive on in. If you guys don't have a pen and paper, go ahead and take the next like 5 or 10 seconds and grab that. And this is probably the most interactive webinar I've put together in a while. So if you guys could do me a favor, when I ask questions, if you guys can just hop in the chat and answer my questions, make this thing interactive. I like to mastermind it as opposed to just like talk at people. So yeah, if you guys could do that, that would help me out a lot and make this thing a little bit more fun. If that sounds all right with you guys, hop in the chat and being interactive. Hop in the chat right now, your first opportunity. Just give me a quick sounds good, or SG for sounds good if you're up for that. We're sleeping this morning a little bit. Sounds good. Candace, there we go. Perfect. Eric, thanks for hopping in there again. Kathleen, awesome. Appreciate you guys. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and dive on into this thing. A few big problems that I think LOs face when it comes to their realtor follow-up system here. All right. And the first is what I call the value vacuum. Okay. So I want you guys to think about the insurance agent that you absolutely love working with. Maybe you have a couple. If you don't have a couple, or if you don't even have one, just want you to imagine that you have an insurance agent that you really love working with, or a couple that you really, really love working with. Okay. Now, if a new insurance agent calls you every week and asks you for leads, all right, are you going to switch insurance agents? Is simply calling you and asking for leads going to be good enough to win your business from the insurance agent that you really, really love? Give me a quick yes or no in the chat. Paularina, no. Okay. Anyone else? Is that going to win anyone else's business? No. Isa. Okay. Probably not. Right? So I also popped this question onto LinkedIn, been asking a lot of people this, and it seems like we're all getting the same answers here. No, that's not going to be good enough, right? So if this isn't going to be good enough to work on you, why is this going to be good enough to work on a realtor? Call them. I just asked for the business. Okay. Something to think about. All right. Number 2 here is what I call the value illusion. Okay. All I want you to do, if you answer yes to any of these questions, just put me in the chat. Okay. Who knows how to consistently generate leads using flyers? If you know how to consistently generate leads using flyers, just pop a quick me in the chat. If you don't, just leave the chat blank. Anyone? Okay, nothing yet. All right. Who has taken the time to completely customize their CRM? Okay, I'm talking about you wrote your own emails. None of these pre-written emails are going out to people. All right. You have taken the time. Absolutely everything is customized. Okay, Jeremy customized his CRM. Perfect. Anyone else? Has anyone else taken the time to completely customize the entire CRM? Okay, doesn't look like it. That's okay. Okay, Paularina. All right. So we have 2 people. All right. And last but not least, who considers themselves an excellent consumer direct marketer? Does anyone consider themselves an excellent consumer direct marketer? Give me a quick me in the chat if you feel that you are excellent at marketing consumer direct. Anyone? Okay. All right. If that's you, go ahead and hop in the chat, but I'm going to keep moving here. Okay. So we just talked about 3 different things. And for the most part, no one felt strongly except for maybe a couple of people with the CRM. All right. So often when it comes to value, I hear things like this. I give my realtors flyers. I give them a CRM. I send them value texts and emails with useful marketing videos. Okay. Are those things potentially valuable? Yes. Okay. But if you are giving someone a tool that you don't know how to properly use yourself, you're not really providing much value. If you can't give them the guidance they need to be successful with a tool, we're not providing enough value. Okay. And last but not least is what I call the desert well run. The last problem, the desert well run. Okay. I want you to imagine that there's only one place for you to get water in your town or in your city, whatever. It's a few miles outside of town. It's in the middle of the desert. Okay. And if you're going to go and get water, your family needs water to drink and, do the things they need to do. If you head out to the well, dressed and equipped like this, okay, you got your t-shirt, you're running, your sunnies on and all that. All right. Is that going to be a successful trip to the well? Is your family going to have the water they need if you go dressed and equipped looking like that? Give me a quick yes or no in the chat. What do you guys think? Isa, no. Candace, no. No, right? It's not going to be a successful trip to the well. Todd, awesome. Thanks for hopping on there. Okay, it's not going to be a successful trip to the well. You have no equipment to bring any water back. Okay, you're not prepared for what happens once you arrive. All right. And this is exactly what happens with LOs and their follow-up system. Okay. So much is focused on getting to the well. Okay. Oh, what scripts do I need? What do I say when I cold call them? What do I say when I get to the open house? Or what should we talk about when I'm at a mixer, when I have a coffee date with a realtor? Everything is focused on sprinting to the well. Okay. But when we talk about bringing the water back, right? What does your follow-up look like? How are we going to bring the water back? How are we going to keep this thing going? Right? This is what most people tell me. Well, it's my follow-up's nothing special. I'll check in every once in a while, see how they're doing. And then I'll just ask for the business. Okay. If you feel that your follow-up is nothing special, if you're not pumped up about it, why is someone else going to be pumped up about it? Okay. Something else to think about. I check in every once in a while. What that tells me is there are a lot of things falling through the cracks. Every once in a while, that could mean every 2 weeks. That could mean every 5 weeks. There's no rhyme or rhythm to what you're doing. There's no system, which means you're missing opportunities. So on the other side of this thing, the opportunity when we build a really efficient follow-up system, really simple. We can start building your team from where it is right now. I think everyone wants to be doing that. That's why you guys are on here today. Okay. What piggybacks off of that is we're able to grow our pipeline. Yes, business is much harder than it's been, but there are still people buying homes. There is still opportunity out there. Okay. And last but not least is with a really, really strong follow-up system, we're able to systemize to scale. If you don't have a system that's replicatable, right? You're not going to be able to scale your business to the point that you probably want to get it to. You have to be able to replicate success if you want consistency. And having a system is absolutely paramount in making that happen. Okay. So we're going to dive into our 3 keys, but before we do, just want to check in with you guys. Is everything making sense so far? Just give me a quick yep in the chat if you guys are still hanging with me. No one has their camera on today, so I can't see anyone, or at least the people I have on my screen. Yep. Okay, awesome. Christina, Kathleen, Marissa, Tim or Tom. Okay. All good, Elizabeth. We'll have the recording, Candace. Okay, cool. You guys are hanging with me. This is awesome. All right. So 3 keys. First one we're going to dive into. Oh, there we go. First one is going to be priming for success. Okay. So want you to imagine you decide to open a business. Okay. We're going to open a business here. And we decided you're going to sell canned air. Sorry, someone just unmuted. Could you please mute if you're unmuted there? All right. So you decided that you're going to sell canned air. All right. Now, give me a quick yes or no, 1 or 2 in the chat. Are you confident that this business, you selling canned air, is going to be successful? Give me a quick 1 or 2 in the chat. What do you guys think? Canned air. You've done that. Okay. I'm not talking about oxygen. Okay. I'm not talking about selling oxygen. I'm talking about canned air. Hey, we're actually having a more mixed bag than I thought. You've actually done that. Pet rocks, right? Okay. If you're wondering where that can is from, if you guys have seen the movie, so basically an empty can. Exactly, right, Michelle? Yeah, you're right. So if you're wondering where that can is from, it's from Spaceballs. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. Is it a pretty can? Exactly. Okay. So you're probably not going to be super confident that you're going to be successful with this business. All right. Now, what do we know about air? Okay. There's two things I want you guys to understand about air. One, it's extremely valuable, right? Air has the oxygen that we need to breathe. It has the carbon that plants need to grow and feed the animals that we eat. And it's the circle of life and the whole jam, right? So air is extremely valuable. We wouldn't be here without it. Okay. But not too many people, at least in my opinion, I guess some people have sold cans of air or just empty cans before. Air is extremely abundant, and that's a bad thing for business. Okay. It's extremely valuable, but extremely abundant. Now, what in our business is both extremely valuable and extremely abundant? Okay. That's going to be things like great service, great communication, closing on time. Let me rephrase that. The things that are extremely valuable and extremely abundant, these things are all extremely valuable. And the abundance comes in the form of loan officers that will say they have great service, great communication, and closing on time. Maybe not everyone does those things, but from the front end perspective, I can't think of a single loan officer that wouldn't say they have great service, great communication, and they close on time. Okay. So something to think about there. All right. Now, what I want you guys to understand is a little bit of the customer journey from your business perspective, the end of your business, right? So taking someone from where they're at, wherever they exist, into actually getting them into a home, there are going to be three steps that they're going to go through. Okay. The first step is the marketing step, right? Turning them from a person that we don't know, or, they exist in the abyss somewhere, into a lead. All right. The second step is the sales step, turning the lead into a client. Okay. And then the third step is the delivery step, right? So that's taking the client and getting them into the home, like finishing the process. Here's the keys, right? Now, the vast majority of loan officers, I would say, 95+%, focus their value from a referral partnership with realtor standpoint on the delivery side of things, right? I have great service, great communication, I close on time. All that is focused on delivery. So, question for you guys. If everyone's focused on delivery, how can we be different? How can we provide different value if everyone's focused on delivery? Should we continue to focus our value on delivery, or should we do something different? What do you guys think? Hit me in the chat. Everyone hanging with me here still? Do something different. Okay, there we go. Maybe my sound's lagging here. You want to stand out, do something different, 100%, right? Doing something different on its most basic level, right? Let's focus on the thing that everyone else isn't focused on. Tom, yes. I don't know, maybe just Tim or Tom, I don't know. Okay, let's focus on the other things. And there are a few reasons, right? One, no one is focusing on marketing and sales help. Tim is fine. Okay, cool. Okay. No one is focusing on marketing and sales. Everybody's focused on delivery. Okay. So just from being different from that standpoint, it's absolutely huge. Okay. But the second piece is it's actually more impactful, right? Being able to help someone with their marketing and sales is much harder than simply closing the loan on time. Okay. So you're going to be able to make a bigger impact. All right. So we're going to help you put together your value proposition with our 3 keys today. But this is, for the most part, the most common value proposition that I hear when it comes to what you do for realtors. I have great service, I have great communication, I close on time, I'm available on weekends. Okay. Now, one massive problem that I want to point out here, there's way too many eyes. And something that's absolutely critical to understand about marketing is it's never about you. Great marketing should never be about you. It should always be focused on the people that you serve. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to help you build your value proposition. If you guys don't have your pen and paper, now's the time to grab it here. Okay. So this is just for yourself here. All right. Giving yourself the confidence that we need to be able to approach realtors and say, there is no reason this person wouldn't partner with me. Okay. So I help realtors achieve their number one goal by how we're going to help them. Okay. Let's put this thing together. I help realtors. The number one thing we want to focus on, make more money. Okay. Don't focus on the delivery aspect. This is the centerpiece. I'm going to help you make more money. Okay. How are we going to do that? By helping them with their marketing and sales. Okay. We're going to start with a high level value proposition and we're going to zoom in. Okay. So if you're like, oh, that doesn't really help me, we'll get there. Give me a second. Okay. So I help realtors make more money. That is what you have to focus on. I'm going to help you make more money. How am I going to do it? I'm going to help you with your sales and marketing. Let me show you how. Okay. So diving into our second piece here, just want to check in with you guys. Is everything making sense so far? You guys still hanging with me? Everyone has their cameras off, so I'm going to be checking in with you guys a lot. Valerie's hanging with me. There we go. Yes, still here. Okay, sweet. All right. So number 2, solve the right problems. This is super, super important. Okay. So want you to imagine another local business. This isn't our canned air local business. We're putting that one aside. We're looking at a different one here. Okay. So we have a local business and this business is struggling. All right. Now, this business is struggling and the marketing team is not confident in the product. So to alleviate the problem, the business, the management ends up hiring more marketing and sales staff to try to drive growth. Now, question for you guys, is that the best solution for this business? Is bringing on more sales and marketing people the best solution for this business? Give me a quick yes or no in the chat. Okay, Tim says no. Anyone else? What do you guys think? Valerie says no. Candace says no. Eric says no. Okay, everyone's saying no. 100%, right? It's not solving the most pertinent issue, okay? Because it doesn't matter how many marketing and sales people you have, they're not confident in the product, you're in big, big trouble. And this is exactly what's happening right now, okay? Loan officers are struggling. Realtors, who are, for the most part, the marketing team for you guys, right? Realtors are not confident in the product. They're not confident in the market right now. So what are LOs trying to do to alleviate the pain? Let me try to recruit more realtors. Okay. Is that really going to be the best use of your time? Maybe not. Should that be a part of your strategy? Yes, probably down the road, but that's not solving the most important issue. Okay. This was a question I chucked up maybe 2 weeks ago. What percentage of realtors you speak with can confidently explain why now is a good time to buy a home? And this is how the results came out. 54 votes, not a massive, massive amount, but still a good chunk, right? 89% of people said that at best, either 50%, the most common answer was actually 20%, okay, said no one could explain basically what's going on with the market, or they weren't sure if realtors could confidently explain what's going on in the market. If your marketing team isn't confident in your product, that is a huge problem. And that is probably the first problem that you need to address right now with all the realtors that you're talking to. Okay, but let's get a little bit more granular with this thing, so you guys have some actual action items you can leave with. But before we do, that's a very, very market specific example of solving a problem, right? Educating realtors on why now is a good time to buy a home. Okay. Now, I want to leave you guys with the formula so that you can have success in other markets when the market changes, right? Rates are going to come back down eventually. So there's so many different scripts, social media stuff, strategies, tactics, CRMs, all these different things that people do to try to help realtors. Okay. At the centerpiece of anything that you're doing has to have the goal of solving problems. If you're not legitimately solving a problem, right? Like, oh, here's a CRM you can use. Here's a tool that you can use. Okay. Make sure that you're legitimately solving a real problem, not one that you think, oh, this might be helpful. Be very, very tactful and intentional with your effort. Okay. So question for you guys, right? What sales and marketing problems do realtors have? Okay. Give me an example. Chuck one up in the chat. What sales and marketing problems do realtors have in this market? What have you seen them have in the past? Okay, what did you see them have in 2020, 2021? Okay, Dan, they're awesome. Lead follow-up, 100%. Lead follow-up is absolutely massive, right? What else do you guys got? What sales and marketing problems do realtors have? Dan's got the team on his back right now with our chat. Anyone else? What are the big, okay, leads from a very, very high level perspective leads. Okay, Candace, I love that one. They don't follow up with past clients. Michelle, return on investment. Yes, for sure. I guess it would depend on specifically what investment we're looking at, but yeah, for sure, not having a return on whatever time or money investment. Messaging, John, 100%. Leads being called by others, right? So follow up, okay? 100%. Affordability, exactly. Navigating the affordability problem, okay? So there are so many different, exactly, Preston, I love that, testimonials. There's so many problems that people have. Every single realtor, even top producing, best of the best, have problems that can be solved, okay? So if there's a problem that can be solved that can make a real impact, that's what your follow-up needs to focus on, all right? These are some examples. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, feel free, or bust your phone out. These are some examples of ways that you can legitimately provide value to a ton of realtors out there. And you guys mentioned a lot of these, right? Interacting with them on social media, anything to do with reviews, writing a review, collecting a review, helping them set up a place to collect reviews, introducing them to speaking opportunities, sharing educational resources, helping them create educational resources, training them on marketing, sales, co-hosting a webinar. There's so many different things that you could be doing to help people. And this is by no means an exhaustive list. Okay. Just want to give you guys some ideas to get the wheels turning here. Okay. All right. So next thing I want you guys to write down, I help realtors improve their sales and marketing by, okay, and I want you guys to write something down, something specific that you can help them with. Okay. What can you do to improve their sales and marketing? Think about what you are really strong at. Think about some of the examples that we just had in the chat or on the screen. What can you do to help them with their sales and marketing? Okay. This is the second piece of your value proposition right here. Okay. I help realtors make more money by helping them with their sales and marketing. The way I do that is by fill in the blank. Okay. So we're going to put a bow on this thing and dive into our third piece here, which is tee yourself up. All right. Let me just check how we're doing on time. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, cool. So tee yourself up. If we're boiling down the most common follow-up for realtors, right? The most common thing that loan officers are doing here. This is basically what we're talking about here. Do you have anyone that needs to get pre-approved? Especially in this market, realtors are saying, nope. So question for you guys, what should you talk about next time you call them? This time you call them, you asked for business. What should you talk about next time? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Okay, collaboration, a webinar or seminar. Okay, not business. What do you guys think? What should you talk about next time? Did you work or play? I love that one. I love that one. I love it, but I don't love it. And I'll talk about why that's the case in just a second. How I can help them build their business through marketing and CRM. Get their thoughts. Okay, so these are all great ideas, and I think these are some of the things that you should be talking about 100%. But what happens most of the time? Okay, this is what happens most of the time. We call, we ask for business. We call, we ask for business. We call, we ask for business. And then last but not least, you guessed it, we call and we ask for business again. Okay, so question for you guys. If this is the strategy that we're using, What is the realtor gaining from this sort of follow-up strategy? What are they gaining? Let me know in the chat. Valerie, nothing. Exactly. Okay. Anyone else? What do you guys think? Zero. Isa, nothing. Tim, Candace, not a thing. Right? Getting annoyed with us, 100%. Right? There's so many realtors that I've chatted with that are like, Mondays are the worst because I'm going to get 15 calls from 15 different lenders. Is that really the reputation that we want to be building with our realtors? I'm just going to annoy the shit out of them until they give in. They're going to bend to our will, right? No, that's terrible. That's a terrible way of doing business. Okay. So a small but extremely powerful shift that I want you guys to make here. Okay. Instead of asking for business every time, okay, we already talked about how we're going to help them. We're going to help them with their sales and marketing. Okay. And then the second piece is we talked about specific things that we could do to help with the sales and marketing, right? So now when you're actually getting them on the phone and talking to them, your job, your number one job, okay, is to leave that phone call, that meeting, that interaction with an action item. Okay. Leave with something specific to do. What is that going to do for you? Okay. It's going to do a couple things. Once you leave with an action item, now you check it off the list, complete the action item. And guess what? Now you have a reason to follow up with them again. Right? Hey, I completed action item X. Here you go. What else can I help you with? Right? And that is going to literally tee up every next interaction that you have with them. Okay. So what is this doing for you? One, you're proactively helping the realtor, which is 100% what you need to be doing. And two, you're giving yourself a reason to call them back. And I think that's what everyone on here wants. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, yes, I can, Isa, give me just 1 second here though. All right. Some of you guys might be thinking, I kind of do this already. And some people do, very few do it well. And the reason is this: a lot of people will incorporate, is there anything I can help you with right now? Okay. And what do they say most of the time? I think I'm good. Is that leaving with an action item? No. Okay. You're not doing a good enough job digging in and finding something that you can help them with. Okay. That is your job. Leave with an action item. Okay. We'll talk about action items in just a second here, but literally all those things that we mentioned in that big list. Here, why don't we hive mind this thing? So, okay, who can think of action items that we can do to help a realtor with? Okay, who has some examples? Chuck them up in the chat. What can we do from an action item perspective to help a realtor? Could be an open house flyer, right? What else? Follow up with their past clients. Okay, for sure. Valerie, Christina, thanks for hopping in there. Timely program info for sure. Okay, co-sponsor an event. All right. It's going to be very, very dependent on what you're actually talking about with the realtor, right? What are they struggling with? That's what we have to find out. What is their problem? Everyone's going to have a little bit different problems, right? Some people are really strong on social media and suck at follow-up, right? Some people are really strong at follow-up and suck at social media. Okay. And I think the other thing that I want to throw in there is, if we're going to co-sponsor an event, if we're going to give them, a flyer or some piece of info, please, 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 like we talked about at the beginning, make sure if you're giving them a resource that you're not just giving them the resource and then saying, okay, go ahead and do your thing, right? Level onto that. Show them how to actually successfully use the flyer. Show them not just, hey, this is a new program that I have. Okay. Show them the benefit, the transformation that this can make for a client, who this is good for, how to market this successfully. Okay. Take it one level deeper so that you're actually providing help as opposed to like half-assed help, which is what happens most of the time. All right. So just to sum this thing up, 3 keys for you guys that we talked about today. Number 1, prime yourself for success. Before you even talk to a single realtor, okay, be confident that you are super, super valuable. If you aren't confident in your value, who else is going to be excited about working with you, right? Be confident in yourself before you do literally anything. All right. Number 2, solve the right problem. Okay. Make sure that all the effort that we're doing is focused around solving problems, and not just solving problems that you think they're having, but solve legitimate problems that are on the forefront, right? And the example that we used was recruiting more realtors as opposed to training the ones that we have on why the market's, why this is actually a good time to buy. All right. And then last but not least, tee yourself up. Leave that call, leave that meeting with an action item. Do not let yourself get off that call without an action item. Okay. Find a way to help them. That is your job. All right. Helping people, and especially your realtors. Chris, yes, this will be posted in a few places. If you wanted to grab it, more than happy to share the link. Cool. All right. So that's all I got for you guys for today. If anyone's needing some extra help building an actual marketing system, and specifically realtor follow-up, okay, we're putting together a case study group starting in December. All right. And this is basically what we're gonna dive into. We're gonna help you build a self lead gen system. You can generate leads on your own. Realtors 100% are a big piece of your business, but with all the social media tools, you can generate leads on your own. Most loan officers just don't want to do it. They want realtors to do it. Okay. That's the first thing. Second, you're going to work with me to build the in-depth version of the Bulletproof Realtor follow-up system that we just laid the framework out for today. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to add 1 to 2 closings to what you're doing right now over the next 90 days. Okay. So if that sounds like it would be helpful for you and you would want to put a little game plan together with me, I'm going to go ahead and chuck my calendar link in the chat right now. Feel free to hop on there, grab a time. We'll put a little game plan together on how you can generate leads, how we can help realtors better, and how we can add those 1 to 2 units a month to what you're doing right now.